So, my name is Angela Kilgore. My relationship status is dating, single. As we begin the documentary, we'll look into the lives of various people as they attempt to fall in love, stay in love, and figure out love.
My name is Shakara.
My name is Dante Jones.
Tony Fan Jr.
My name's Chino. My name is Savon.
My name is LaQuandra Watson.
My name is Lamont J. Twigs.
My name is Jana Clark Twigs.
Hello, my name is Andrea.
And I'm Elisha Hill.
Roman Knight.
Maisha Smiley Knight.
This is their stories, and this is their reactions and their realities. What does love look like? We will be exploring what love looks like, what love sounds like, what love materializes as. It was once said that the most revolutionary thing that a black man can ever do is to love a black woman. This is us examining what that looks like. It is our hope that throughout this documentary you will have seen the various examples of love that shine throughout. And it is our hope that you will think twice as you begin your relationship of loving yourself and others.
It's complicated because we're kind of in a relationship, but it's not official, I guess.
How is it being single? So, there's probably two answers to this question.
Hello, what's up? My name is Tony Fan Jr. I'm from Detroit, and I'm actually very single, but won't be for long. I'm excited.
My name's Chino. My relationship status is single.
My name is Savon, and my relationship status is I'm single.
I feel like talking is a term that this generation came up with, but it basically is dating.
I remember being younger, and the idea of having a boyfriend didn't seem like such a it seems like there's longevity in it now. Do you know what I mean? Like there's more time that goes into how much energy, how much, you're gonna exert being with the person at this age, now that I've been through it, a little bit. When I was younger, it was just like, well, I want a boyfriend, you know what I mean? Like, and we just gonna be together and but now you factor it, right? You're just like, we're gonna have food over here, we're gonna go here, go to the club, bye. But now there's like, where does he work? What does he do for a living? What are his vices? What are his hobbies? Where is, what I mean? Where is he building? Will I be lifting him up? Will he be lifting me? You know what I mean? All of these, like I said, practical, preconceived notions and so and ideas and questions.
It's more. It's kind of frowned upon to be in a relationship, kind of, sort of, because it's like you don't really see too many good things on it. And if it is, it comes with like social media posts. You got this to do that, but y'all really not married. It's like that gray area, because nobody really knows what's the difference between like marriage and just regular dating. And then when it comes to hookup, we love our sexual activity, so people do that all the time because it's just deemed what's cool. So it's unfortunate because you would think that people will have a high self-esteem and self-worth, not to just give that up so easily. But until they learn that self-worth, you can't really do nothing for them. You could just give them the knowledge and hopefully they take it. But right now I feel like the hookup culture is very, very real.
It takes two to make a relationship, but it seemed like I was the only one that was trying. So I gave up on it, I can't do it. I'd rather, if I would do this, I might as well be single and do what I want. But, I'm looking though, I ain't done, trying to find that right one though. I had saw her a few times on campus. I ignored her, I really kind of ignored her. I just happened to notice throughout going to classes. Then, me and a friend went into the library, she was in the library. I saw her again, made eye contact. Well, actually, yeah, we made eye contact and we went upstairs. So I told my friend, I said, if I look back and she's looking, I'm going to get her. So I walked upstairs, I looked back, she was looking. I did so. Went back and got her.
To be in love, to be black and in love.
Marriage is good. Marriage is great. I can't complain because I married somebody that I actually liked and I wanted to reproduce with, and he makes me laugh. And we met out in Southfield at Fridays. And marriage is good. I can't complain. I I would do it over again if I could. I would love to get married again to the same person. That's it.
Well, essentially, a success story. Yeah.
Ultimate friend zone story.
Yeah, essentially. It was just kind of like, I was like talking to other guys, and it was just like, you know how you play that whole game of like, okay, are we gonna be serious? Like when you're talking, are we gonna be serious, or are we just, you know, like gonna just be kicking it, going on dates and stuff? And it's just like, all right, I'm going out with these guys, whatever. He actually took me out when I had a boyfriend. Like he would be like, hey, what you doing? Let's go to movies, let's go out to eat, and he would pay for everything. And he didn't have to, because I'm like, I clearly have a boyfriend, and it was legit nothing going on between us, like legit, because we didn't get together till like a year, almost more than a year after I had broken up with my ex-boyfriend or whatever. But like he was just like legit genuine. I'm like, I'm up here trying to figure out which one of these dudes like really like me, really care for me and stuff, when this one sitting here right in front of my face is like doing the most for me, and they ain't even get, like, he's not really getting nothing out of it but friendship. And I was just like, let me stop playing around before somebody else snatch him up, and then I'm gonna be all butthurt like, oh, I miss my best friend, and so I just married my best friend.
I started going to my friend's church. A friend I kind of grew up with became a pastor, and I went, just you know, he had his little opening thing going on, and I went to support and help him with the sound and this, that, and other. And you know, she's in ministry, and she met him and came to the event, and we kind of met. Well, I kind of met her eyes. She didn't meet my eyes yet. So I was taking pictures and helping him support the media in the event, taking pictures for the first day and this, that, and the other. And she came and she gave some expressions, and let's just say I took some extra pictures. Oh, wow, she's nice. Click, zoom, click. So that's how we met. Dialogue built from there. Everything else is history.
Oh. Tell her, babe. Tell her how we met.
Yeah.
Tell her. It's kind
Okay, this is a little bit
raunchy.
Yeah. Okay, actually I met him at his sister's house.
Mm-hmm.
But I had known him.
Seen.
And it was a situation. I had been drinking a lot. And I kind of did some inappropriate grabbing.
She came in the kitchen and fondled me several times. She walked off and came back and fondled again. And I asked her, are you okay? Like, I don't know, I just wonder, was she all right?
No, I wasn't okay.
Yeah.
I was very, very intoxicated. But he was really sweet, because that night he just sat there and just fed me water and rubbed my back and my ear and stuff.
Yeah,
she had
got really, really drunk.
Yeah.
And threw up everywhere, and you know, couldn't walk and couldn't make it up the stairs.
Yeah.
So I carried her up the stairs and I cleaned her up, and she just laid on my lap and went to sleep.
I had none. Simply because he was not my type.
No.
You know, sometimes we have problems because we don't pay attention to them unless they are our type. And I was there to do ministry with his cousin, so I really did not pay any attention to him. I was introduced to him as a cousin, and I shook his hand. I was very cordial, very nice. But other than that, I had no first impressions because I had no interest. I'm going to have to say this is a total spiritual connection.
Yeah.
Total spiritual connection, because as I just said a few minutes ago, he was not my type, so I never gave him any attention. I never looked that way. It just so happened, something happened one day. It's just out of the blue. We call it the bucket of love. We call it the bucket of love because I was standing in the middle of their sanctuary or their worship, and he can't tell you what I had on. It's like somebody poured something on me, and I literally just turned around and looked at him and took notice of him. It was like, wow, it's like someone took the scales off my eyes and poured something over me. And I immediately just walked over to him and says, Brother Lamont, are we in church? Can I have a hug?
Let me interrupt her. She did not walk. She floated. Yeah, she floated over to me. I did not see her legs move, and then she knows she's there. And again, I'm supporting my friend. He's married to my cousin. That's why I just said cousin. And I'm just wrapping up sound system equipment and things like that. And oh, hey, how you doing? You notice the height difference. And she asked for a hug. Continue.
And after, while we was hugging, I said, don't give me one of them old church lady hugs.
So I was like, challenge accepted. Yes.
And
she took that hug home.
Yeah. That was a defining, pivotal moment of our eternity. Because he hugged me and I was like,
Game-changing hugs.
Yeah, yeah. You begin to notice the broadness of the shoulders, and I believe in, I haven't said this before, but it's something spiritually that I believe took place because our hearts were connected to each other.
Mm-hmm. From that point on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was standing with a friend, and I was speaking with someone, and he was waiting for me to stop talking to somebody else, I believe, and he came up to me and said, I want to have a drink, and I told him no, and we ended up talking, but he was really nice, and we met up the next day, and we hung out the next day, and before I knew it, all my weekends were snatched up by this guy.
Everybody deserves to find love.
I would want to see a strong couple. Not everybody, what they call it, power couples, or was it relationship goals, but then it'd be like materialistic and kind of BS. I hope we can like look in our family and find it, because I feel like that's where it counts. Like seeing that in your family. You see that in your family, and then you could emulate it in your relationships with your partners, and then you know you can grow up and have a strong family yourself. Know yourself before you get in any relationship. Don't lose yourself once in the relationship, and help promote the person you with. I'll try to stay away from being materialistic, kind of, so to say, and keeping a tally mark. Like, well, I did that for you. You can do this for me. It comes with maturity, though, because if you've never really been in a serious relationship, it's hard to really just jump ship into it if you're not really there. And doing the little small things that really mean a lot to people. Like, I think if you're a guy, you should help a girl with her hair. So when y'all break up, it mess with her.
Lack of understanding what it is, what it means to be in a relationship. You know, sacrifice, being unselfish. I think a lot of people are selfish in relationships. They tell you they love you. All the time, they love what you're doing for them, you know, what they benefit from you. So I don't think people know what love is or know what it means to be in a relationship.
Yeah, like I feel like you're supposed to learn how to be happy by yourself before you can be happy with somebody else. Like, because if you're not happy by yourself, you're gonna depend on that person for happiness. So it's like if they're not there, you're unhappy.
For my generation, us millennials right now, we're a lot more practical, and the idea of a relationship, because we're more practically minded, is, you know, work.
So you bury yourself in work?
I mean, I distract myself from the loneliness with work and productivity, but at the end of the day, being single right now for me is just, it's more functional than being in a relationship, because there's the whole idea of like getting to know a person and like, you know, this just seems like work, you know what I mean? And plus, I don't know, I feel like over the years, our community has kind of learned that our 20s is to get to know ourselves completely before we enter that 30 mark. And I mean, because if you don't know yourself by then, it's gonna get messy, you know what I mean? So yeah, like I wouldn't prefer to be single. I don't think anyone would, but there is a practical comfort in it. I'm be very honest.
I mean, I don't know if I want to call it love, but I ain't been in love, but I had loved somebody. Like, I had love for them. But see, how I figure my difference is being in love is like eternity, like being with them eternity. But got love for somebody, like meaning you there whenever they need you, and like you jump whenever they need you. But I ain't never been in love. I got love for a lot of people though.
I think that people need to date more I go on dates a lot, and apparently it's not like a popular thing, but we definitely need to bring back the culture of dating, and guys need to start knocking on doors and picking girls up, and like girls need to start letting guys, like I feel like girls are so eager to be the guy in a relationship, like you should wait to get out of the car until he opens the door. He should come knock on the door, like, and then I'm all for sexism because like I'm not paying for anything, and like, yeah, I feel like we need to like, I don't mind not paying for anything. I don't care about the whole, women make 60% on a dollar. Well, I'm not paying for drinks or dinner, so I don't, like, whatever. Granted, that's not the most feminist. Feminism is a statement of mine, but I feel like feminism is a white woman thing, and like black women aren't allowed to be feminists. We are allowed to be womanist, which means that I'm all for the woman. But I feel like we need to start back dating because like, everybody's always trying to smash, but you don't know who you're smashing, and you need to like go out with them and learn who they are. And you need to go out with them in public, like, and during the day, because like who they are at night when y'all are Netflix and chilling versus who they are when y'all going for a walk in the park are completely two different people. And you can't be in a relationship with someone if you don't see both sides of them. So if you only see their night side, but you don't see their day side, you don't really like their day side, then why are you with them at night is the question. This is us examining Black love.
I knew I loved him when I was willing to do for him. Love is never selfish. Never selfish. When my heart said, I want to cook a full meal for him. When my heart said, I want to take his shoes off and make sure, you know, he's comfortable. When my heart says he's stressed out and I don't want you to be stressed out, so I'll do whatever I can to make you less stressful.
In my heart, my feet, my stomach, we're all good. My mind, we're all good.
When a person loves a person, they do without reservation. They don't have to be told what to do. They'll just do. So I knew I fell in love with him when I was looking forward to coming home from work and cooking a dinner, telling my son, okay, we're gonna have company, take care of my son. And I fixed his plate, but I told him I was prepared. So when I knew he was coming over, I set the table, I chilled a glass. I don't mean make hot dogs and chips. I love to cook.
I was already making hot dogs and chips.
Civil rights movement started with the black man, the black woman, and the black child standing together, trying to plead for freedom, justice, and equality, and more benefits in the country that they had built. They threw the white woman in there with the women's liberation movement and made it a woman against man thing. That created a big separation between black men and black women because then everybody started going for self. Then they bring the welfare system in and tell us in order to feed and clothe and house our children, we have to give up our man. You have to put the man out of the house. When the white farm wife goes to the government for subsidy for the farm, they don't tell her to get rid of the farmer, they keep that family together. But in the black community, they make it a requirement because they want to keep endorsing into the black community that the black man is no good.
I love black men.
Why?
I feel like there's a power in black men that you don't see in other men. Like there's just, like when I see a black man, I think of them being strong and powerful. Like I don't always see that when I look at other cultures. But with a black men go through a lot, especially in America. So I don't know, like when I see a black man, it just makes me happy.
And then do you think that black men like black women or love black women?
A lot of them do. For example, I worked with a guy at the post office and he told me that he would never date outside of his race. Like he loves black women. So he will only date black women. Like he says, like they're just beautiful and powerful and that's what he loves. And you know, other cultures are beautiful, but they just don't do it for him.
I've never dated outside my race, but I have had sexual relations with people outside of my race, women.
Would you marry
No.
Why?
Because I want to have black babies. Why? Because I want my kids to look like me. And since I felt like I have black pride now, or whatever you call it, pride in myself, I want my kids to have that too. I don't want my kids to have like more of an identity crisis, because we already have an identity crisis. So if they go outside their race, it's gonna be pretty rough for them. It's pretty rough.
I believe that black women have a lot more potential than black men give them. I believe they are a lot stronger than we admit them to be. There are a lot of them that are hurt, and I think some of the hurt carries over, and you know what? That's the same both ends. The hurt carries over, and you never reset or learn to reset, so you can move on, and those things become damaging in the next go round. You know, but I think black women are the strongest. They're challenged with a more heavier statistic being women and then being African American in our country. So, and if you look at it, I heard this statistic a long time ago, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I would doubt it was close to true. Somewhere in 2014, they said for every black man that was going to prison, there was a black woman getting a degree. It was at that point, because there were a lot of African American women getting bachelor degrees and things like that. And not to say that African American men weren't getting degrees, but it's a lot of us going to prison, you know. And that was a statistic I heard then. I don't know if that's the same now. Now it's just a wild moment. So that lets you know the men are not there, but the women are achieving. So that tells you something, you know. For them, in that aspect of an African American male, can step his game up and be with the queen who is already there. Once they meet in the middle, how much damage they can do to the world is amazing.
Lost, but that's everybody, you know, but lost, confused. They don't know what they want, really, you know. They expect too much, I think. One thing I found out about women, they really expect you to be able to read their mind. They're emotional and they terrible with communication. Me and my kid's mother, you know, you can tell when something's wrong. I ask her, what's wrong? Nothing. Every woman I've ever been with said that, nothing. It's clearly something wrong. If you tell me what's wrong, we can fix it. Refuse to. Nothing. Nothing's wrong.
What I think about black men, this may sound a little biased, but I'm coming from a ministerial perspective. I think black women don't know their worth, because if they did, they would not receive and settle just for anything, number one. And then I think because they don't know their worth, they don't know how to reset. I don't think they take their destiny seriously, because we can do better. Now, when it comes to the black men, I contribute to some of the weights and the tearing down that has been done to our black men. But I do fault some black women for the downfall of black men. And I can hear somebody saying, whoa, that's okay. Let me explain myself. In any situation, I don't care which way you see it, a black man, a black boy child is coming from a woman. It doesn't start when he gets grown. It starts when he's birthed out from a black woman. How is that black woman raising that black boy? What is she displaying in front of him? What is she doing? A lot of our black men are in jail. Is it because there's no father in the home? We can't definitely say that, because there's a lot of single family homes, and there's a lot of people who have made themselves something in a single parent home. But now, what has really happened? Who do we blame? Who's at fault for some of the way that our black men think and feel and the way they come forth? I'm going to give it to the black women. And I'm going to say that because they have not reset. I have a 12-year-old son. He's a 3.89 student. Was just inducted to the National Junior Honor Society. I hug my son. I tell my son I love him. I don't call him stupid. I don't hit him upside his head. I don't call him names out of his name. I don't do that. I don't baby him. Well, he may say I do sometimes, but I give him chores. And the most important thing, when he does well, I compliment him, I congratulate him, I boost my son. My son showed me his progress report Friday. He had 3 A's and 3 B's. He texted to me, and while I was at work, and I responded, great, we'll talk. He says, Mom, what you think about my? I said, you did wonderful. Mind you what I said. You did wonderful, but I see you more of an all A's guy. He's like, yeah, Mom, I'm working on that. So did I beat him down? No. Did I scold him? No. Did I encourage him? Yes. But did I congratulate him and push him for what he did? Yes.
Another thing you did was he took your validation as a challenge. That's a good thing, you know, because I think another thing is with single black women raising a man is that the age, because he's 12, somewhere between that age, and I can't speak for every statistic and every scenario, it may be case by case basis, but I think every man can attest to getting our validations from our mothers.
Right.
And the whole thing, men aren't allowed to be men. Like, they're always hard, but they're never allowed to be soft. And guys have emotions, and so we should let them show their emotions. And then maybe they were able to cry or get a hug or say, hey, I'm feeling kind of depressed today. Then maybe they wouldn't kill, because you never hear about women being mass murderers and terrorists and everything, because women are allowed to cry, and I feel like crying is good. And if men were crying, then they wouldn't be, I'm not saying they wouldn't be terrorists, because you can't, crying is going to deter terrorists, but it would definitely stop so much violence going on. This is us examining Black love.
You give me hope that there's still some good men out there.
It's real because you have to know in your heart who you want to be with. If you don't want to be with a person, don't commit to a person. Don't be with a person because you have children. Don't be with a person because you think it's status quo. You know, be with a person because that person makes you happy, that person makes you smile, that person actually cares about you, what you want to do, and they like being around you. They don't want to just use you up. They actually want to care about your future. They want to make sure that you're going to school and getting your credits, where you're furthering your career and you're being a better mother, you know, a better wife. It's possible. It's definitely possible, but don't just be with that guy that you think, or that girl that you think, oh, she's so cute, oh, she's so fine.